Oh, it's alive! It's alive! It's alive! It's alive!
Night of the Bloody Apes. See animal and rational aspects of the human psyche trapped in creatures that are half man, half beast, all horror. They rip, they tear, they claw you to pieces. The Night of the Bloody Apes makes you see the hell man creates for himself. The Night of the Bloody Apes.
Greetings, my friend. We are all interested in the future, for that is where you and I are going to spend the rest of our lives. You are interested in the unknown, the mysterious, the unexplainable. You are interested in the unknown, the mysterious. My friend, we cannot keep this a secret any longer. Can your heart stand the shocking facts about
Children of the night? What music they make.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Ta-da! We are here. Another Friday Night Frights. Yeah, we were going to have Wyatt with us, but he's got work stuff on. So,
oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, last minute jump over to my channel. Hello to everyone who's turned up in the chat. Bianca, good evening. Doop, Richie Doo, Bananas. Oh, Night of the Bloody Apes. An interesting movie. Southern Cecil, Dick Turtle. There he is. And Mad Ruth. Yes, Night of the Bloody Apes. Does look awesome. Have you ever seen it, Crystal?
No, I've just heard what you and Wyatt have been talking about.
Yeah, Wyatt found it. I'd not seen it.
It seems kind of ridiculous, though, but like in a dumb, funny way.
it's if you like old movies, old horror movies, and you don't mind that they're a little bit cheap, shall we say? Hey, gaming or what? Oh, I always say that like Monday. Sorry. Yeah, if you don't mind, that kind of stuff. It's a Mexican movie. It's I do recommend the dubbed one because
The dub. Oh no.
subtitles.
What do
I
they
mean,
do in the dub?
well, it kind of adds to it. It adds to the
Is
whole
it like extra ridiculous?
an extra level of just B moviness.
Oh, okay.
It's look, there we go. Let me click. No problem, man. Thank you for showing up. Smash that likey. Thank you. Yeah, it's a Mexican movie, and it's there's actual live footage, real footage of like I think it's autopsies or surgery or some shit in there.
Like dissecting apes or something like that?
No, human. Like
Oh,
they cut
okay.
the dude open and
Oh,
they
wow.
take the heart out and stuff, and it's obviously real. I did research it just to check, and yes, yeah, real scenes, real surgery scenes in there, which is pretty grim. You don't expect it.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
extra metal, man.
yeah. Basically, from what I could follow, there's a guy who gets a heart transplant from an ape, and therefore he gets like an ape face and goes mad and runs around molesting women and murdering people.
Wow.
So, good evening,
That's
sir.
crazy.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, but it's like I don't think health and safety was a thing back then either. There's like
Probably
scenes
not,
where
you know.
there's like four locations. One of the locations is like a park, like a public park, and there's one scene where there's a crowd turns up and they're all like, "Oh, get the ape monster!" Rawr. All in Mexican, shouting in Mexican, and then the police turn up. This police car turns up, almost plows the crowd down, almost flattens them all. The cop jumps out, doesn't put the parking brake on, and the car just gradually rolls into the crowd. And you can see people diving out of the way. Then two ambulances turn up, and neither of those put the parking brakes on either. And they're rolling around. There's people jumping about, and there's a bloody ape running around screaming. And it's good. It's good stuff. There's a hell of a lot of nudity in there. An ape that likes to molest ladies, but I don't know. He keeps his trousers on or keeps his pants on at all times, and
How?
just
How does that
kind of
work, though?
rolls around on top of them a bit and growls, and then runs away.
That's cringe.
It's yeah.
That's so cringy.
If Wyatt was here, he would confirm. And I don't want to talk about it much more because me and Wyatt have been on a Mexican horror movie kick. There's some fantastic. Everything features at some point like a luchador. It's always about wrestling as well. So like there's wrestling in this one. We're watching like the Aztec Mummy. That's another weird one. Yeah, we'll get into that at a later juncture. What? Rick King. Evening, sir. Evening. What have you been up to this week?
Mostly just watching new stuff. There's like a ton of content out this week. So
there is. I don't know what's happened this week. There's been like
they've stuffed it all in.
Yeah, and isn't the show on Shudder, Joe Bob, The Last Driving, isn't that kicking off again? Does that kick off tonight?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, it's all kicking off. I don't know what's so special about like October the 7th.
This week we had like Hellraiser, Werewolf by Night, the terrible She-Hulk episode, and then the Rings of Power, which is so slow it's putting me to sleep. So there's so much stuff, and it's not all of it's good.
Was that awful Jeepers Creepers supposed to be out this week? I mean, I know I sneakily saw it last week, but
I mean, I think it's technically out on in some places on DVD. I'm not
oh
like
right, okay. It's
not
terrible, by the way. Don't even bother.
Mhm.
Don't even bother with Jeepers Creepers. I couldn't get through. I kind of got maybe halfway in and realized I was spending more time looking at my phone and doing other stuff. It was kind of okay. It started well, and then it all went a little bit social influencer type stuff.
Ooh.
All those types of characters, and it all got a little bit meta about.
I hate when they do that because they kind of did that with like was it the new Texas Chainsaw reboot? That's so trash, dude.
I don't think I, I don't. I think I missed that completely. Or did I
It's
see it?
best that you do because it's like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's.
Because if I remember correctly, because I watched it, but it was so forgettable. They bring like a ton of like influencers or like whatnot, young kids, whatever, on a giant bus,
Damn
and they
those
try to
pesky kids.
revitalize like a super small town in America, and they're coming in, and like the locals are upset because I don't know, they're in like short shorts or something like that, and they're upset.
Okay.
I don't know. It was bad.
Yeah, that sounds. I mean, Jeepers Creepers. It centers around. Apparently, there's a festival every year that like based around the creeper, and it's like totally overrun. There's like a bunch of I don't know rednecks running it,
Mhm.
but then there's all these weird social influencers there, all these YouTubers,
Well,
and then there's a competition, and somehow someone wins it, and then they go and stay in a creepy house, and that was the point where I stopped.
why would you do that?
I don't know. It's fucking terrible though, and I apologize. I apologize for that. But
That's like
it
a
is.
horror movie no. Like, dude.
Yeah. I never like those kinds of movies. I don't know. It's maybe because I despise those kinds of people. He says live streaming on YouTube. I don't do Instagram. Well, I do actually. No, I'll do that as well. Damn it. But anyway, yeah. So the main things this week are Hellraiser and Werewolf by Night. I think. Let's go. Let's watch the. This is where I always expect that the channel's going to shut down. Let's have a little watch of this.
This Halloween, you can't escape the shock, the terror of Werewolf by Night.
Tonight, it is every hunter for themselves.
Good luck. I'll be rotting for you.
But one of you is a monster, masquerading as one of our own. I can't wait to find out what breed of evil you are. You'll wanna see this, darling.
Please don't do this. Death is coming for you!
Werewolf by Night.
Yeah. So what did you make of it? What did you think of it?
Well, I guess going into this, I guess I didn't really see as far as advertising that this was like a special. essentially. Like, essentially like a little short film.
Yeah.
But I really liked it. There was like people's hands getting chopped off and people were getting stabbed, which is always cool. But you actually see blood in a Marvel like anything. So that was kind of shocking but cool. And the story and the setup was really good. And I thought for the most part all the actors did really well with what it was. So I
Yeah.
liked it.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
just wish it was longer.
well, there is that. But I don't know, it hit all the right beats. It told the story. They got in, told the story, got out again. Kind of thing. I don't know how or where they would have dragged it out more. I get the feeling it's the length it is because that's what they made and didn't.
Well, I almost feel like, and just from like knowing how companies work as far as stuff like this, it's almost like a test pilot. Like people have you make a test pilot to see if you want to have a full series or something like that. I feel like this is that type of thing. Like Marvel wasn't really sure if this would hit with people. So they just kind of took a chance on it and they threw it out there as like a special to see how people like it. Because I feel like it's very strange. Just kind of like a TV pilot.
Yeah. I mean, they really kind of leaned into that old school kind of Universal Monsters type thing.
Man Thing was cool.
Man Thing was very cool.
I mean, they said that like part of the suit is practical and then the face is CG, if I remember correctly.
That
was
right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I could see it because they're talking about how they'd fit it into the Marvel, cinematic universe. I mean, I don't know. Every time Man Thing or the werewolf turned up, it just outclassed all the rest of the crap on the screen. But I could see Blade in that universe.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm surprised they didn't try and put Blade in there. But then again,
well, I hear the new Blade film from everything that's going around is going to be interesting. It sounds like.
Yeah, have they not just recently?
Drama.
Yeah, have they not recently just fired someone and they're rewriting it or something?
The director.
Sorry,
the director. Yeah.
And
then Mahershala Ali is upset. People are saying with how things are going down. And then they said there's not really a lot of fight scenes per this like latest script they have.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a problem for a
Blade. Well, that's one thing that Werewolf by Night did well is there's not a lot of filler in there. It's like pretty much action-y-ish all the way. I mean, there's a few scenes, but
like my issue with Disney Plus though, and why I don't think people are really going to Disney Plus is that they skimp so hard on the runtime. It's just like atrocious.
Oh yeah.
If you think about WandaVision, there's like a 10-minute episode, I think, and that's like, why?
Still not seeing any of that.
Yeah, and then like the longest episodes they have are like 45 minutes ish, and that's like Falcon, Winter Soldier, and then a couple others. So it's super strange because they're not going to get anywhere with those type of runtimes. Because Netflix, everybody else, it's like 50-minute episode, 49 minutes. Like anything less than 40 right now is like not really the norm. So what they're doing is strange. It's almost like they're taking the animated side because like animated episodes are like about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's most of what Disney does. And I almost think that they think they can do that for live action and it's going to work. But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the only kind of thing that used to have really done that, like old like sitcoms and stuff.
Yeah.
Like 20 minutes.
Yeah, like comedies. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's one thing I did notice that once I've noticed it with Werewolf by Night. One thing I've noticed was, the kind of, so they've gone with the black and white, which is cool. I saw some of the behind the scenes stuff, and they spent a lot of time. All the costumes, like, I don't know if they're going to do a color version at some point, release a color version, because like it was clearly originally going to be color. I think, just judging by the effort they put into the costumes and whatnot. Even some of the characters, like the scene where they're walking down and there's a guy playing the tuba, like that guy, the dude with the flames coming out. That, we've got a really intricate costume with all these different colors and stuff going on. It's like, and then you black and white it.
Yeah, that is interesting, because even with like WandaVision, I feel like they filmed that in color just because of the way it looked, like those early episodes.
Yeah.
But yeah, because usually if you film something truly in black and white, like film cameras and whatnot, usually you have to like tailor the outfits and the colors to pop out more. Yeah, so I'm guessing it wasn't.
And like makeup and stuff is like, they go heavy on the cheekbones and stuff like that. It's
makeup will look terrible in black and white if you don't plan it out for sure.
Yeah. They did that thing as well where there's kind of a grainy overlay on it.
Yeah.
And you get those little, the circular, like, it's like a burn in the film, isn't it?
The cigarette burn, yeah.
Yeah. So that keeps popping up.
Which is funny because I was talking with my husband while we were watching it, and that's like a template stock footage.
Yes, yeah.
Which you can get off of YouTube for free.
That cigarette burn one just pops up in the same place every time as well. It's like, it's like stop it, and then once I've noticed that, I'm like looking at the other grains, and there's a couple of bits that pop there all the time.
And then the lightning effect they did at the title, that was also like a basic After Effects like preset that you can do with the lightning. So I was kind of laughing at that too.
That just seems weird to me because they clearly spent money on it. Because let's face it, Man-Thing.
Well, the sets looked awesome.
Yeah, and Man-Thing looks a million times better than She-Hulk.
No.
So,
which is wild because She-Hulk, they had like the stunt double looks more like She-Hulk, and it just baffles me. She's tall, dude.
Yeah, there was a lot of references in Werewolf by Night as well to like other horror stuff. So someone kept popping up, and weirdly, what was it? Oh yeah, right at the end, because sorry about the spoilers. That's a face. That's what she looks like. That's literally It's not a mask.
Yeah, guys.
At the end.
Look at all this hair. Yeah.
I don't know if it's a spoiler to say it's like there's a little bit at the end that's in color. Is that a spoiler? That's not a spoiler.
I don't think that's a spoiler, dude.
But you notice the song that's playing.
Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
Somewhere Over the Rainbow, which is the start of Wizard of Oz. Is in black and white, and when you get to Oz, it switches to color. So when Werewolf by Night switches to color, they play Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Weird reference to put in there, but it's there. And I'm 100% sure.
Talk about the werewolf, like how he looks, dude. That was awesome. And they said that's all practical effects for the most part, like makeup, prosthetics, and everything. Yeah.
There's also a reference to American Werewolf in there. When he said, and the close up of the eyes, it's like literally the same shot from American Werewolf. Yeah, the face, it's got like there's no hair on the face of the werewolf, which always reminds me of the transformation scene from American Werewolf. That bit where he's halfway between, but his face isn't. When he's sort of goofing off and staring at the camera and doing. I liked it.
One
I
of
like
my
the werewolf.
top werewolf movies for sure. American Werewolf in London.
Oh, absolutely.
And then
Absolutely.
Dog Soldiers is the next.
Yeah.
Because
Yep,
that's
yep. Agree completely. The Howling would be like higher up for me if it didn't have that ending.
That's like third for me, man. But I
Yeah.
do love, the werewolves are good in that.
Yeah, the Howling right up until the
The
last
end.
last 10 minutes, is it?
I think
Yeah.
everybody complains about the end, man.
It's
It's
I've
out
said
of
it before.
left field.
Hmm?
It's out of left field, dude. Like, it's a curveball.
What can you do when the star demands it? Because that's kind of what happened, wasn't
Oh,
it?
wait, really?
Yeah. She didn't want to be a scary werewolf.
But how does
So-
that help?
Don't know, but that's what happened, and that's why she looks like a Yorkshire Terrier at the end. And cute.
Ew. Gross.
She
Dude.
demanded it. Yeah.
People need to stop caving into these whiny people. That's so gross.
I mean, at the time, I guess she was kind of a bit of a box office draw for horror movies, though. So
Oh, okay. Still, though,
Dee
dude, that was
Wallace, yeah.
atrocious.
Yeah. Like I say, the Howling's great right up until that. So as soon as they go cut to the news studio, because it doesn't add anything to the story really. So just as soon as they get to the news studio, stop watching. Job done. So, well, yeah, go on. Out of 10, what are you going to give Werewolf by Night?
I'd give it a solid 8 just because of some of the stuff they set up. And the biggest thing about a werewolf film for me is the transformation.
Yeah.
And I thought they did a really good job of lighting his face and keeping it kind of a secret for a good amount of the runtime that they did have.
Yeah.
And making it mysterious, and then showing some of the transformation off screen was really cool. That was giving me like an old Universal Monsters vibe.
Exactly. Yeah. Huge callback to that kind of stuff, to like Jekyll and Hyde and things like that. Yeah.
So I'd say just that, and the guy that is the werewolf is super likable. It's good. I just wish it was longer.
Yeah. Notice they didn't actually mention his second name, just called him Jack.
Yeah, and they didn't actually say werewolf. That's another big.
That's true.
It depends, because sometimes, like, you can say it, and then sometimes it doesn't work.
Yeah. I'm glad they didn't mention the surname, because Jack Russell. It's way too on the nose.
Comics.
And Man Thing looked fantastic. I was wondering if it was like maybe the black and white was hiding some inadequacies in the 3D model.
That makeup looked.
But when it switches to color at the end, switches to color at the end, and the kind of got all those mushrooms and stuff coming out of his shoulders, and that looked fantastic. Very good. Enjoyed it. Oh, what we got? Yeah, an 8. I'll go with an 8 on that. Yeah, could have been longer. Could have done more with it. I'd like to see more. I definitely want to see more. I don't know how they're going to.
There's not a lot of good werewolf content.
No, there isn't.
Especially in recent years, there's like nothing.
Yeah, I mean, no, there hasn't been. I quite liked. I think the last one that I liked was Howl, the one with the train that breaks down.
Oh, okay. I've seen that. Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, the werewolves look more like, I don't know, they look like the ones from Underworld. They look more like big cats to me. They don't really look like wolves. But I enjoyed it. But maybe that was just because it was, a British thing. Don't know. Might have influenced me a little bit. Yeah. It was interesting. I mean, the ending of it was crap. But yeah.
They've been trying to make a new Dog Soldiers film forever.
Oh God, yeah.
And I feel like at this point, if it's taken that long, it's probably best just to, you know,
Yeah, I
you
think
never know.
it actually got, might have been this week or last week, it got a release in like the 4K release.
No, sweet, dude.
So yeah, be interesting to see if like the effects and stuff and the makeup and whatever stand up in that higher resolution. It's either going to be awesome or not. But yeah, I saw that movie like in the theater when it came out. It was, yeah, just fantastic.
Dude,
Loved it.
that's awesome.
Really, really loved it. And yeah, second it came out on DVD, bought it. Love that movie. Yeah. So yeah, the other where are we now? This is me clicking on all the wrong stuff. So the other big thing, yeah, I mean we watched the trailer last week, but let's give it another whirl now before we get talking about it. Yeah. Okay.
Beautiful, isn't it? It's really nice. You can hold it. What is it? It's a puzzle. And it's almost finished. Keep going. So if I solve it, do I get a prize? I do.
It has 6 sides, 6 configurations. It opens up and it cuts you. And then they come to collect.
It's time. Greater delights await. We wish to see you proceed. Feed it. Their blood, their pain. All for us. What is it you pray for?
Mm. Oh, nice. Yeah. Sounds good to me. Yeah, so Hellraiser. So we go from a movie or a special that was too short to 2 hours. Hellraiser was 2 hours long.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of started watching it and I saw it like 2 hours, and I thought, well, if this is terrible, that's going to be 2 hours of agony. What did you make of Hellraiser?
Well, I like the kills for sure. The kills were very nice. Some of the characters were unlikable, which I feel like that's very common now.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a difference. Like, I'm trying to think here. There was the Evil Dead remake that they did.
Yeah.
Where a lot of those characters were unlikable, but like in a different way. That's still like enjoyable to watch.
Yeah.
If that even makes any sense. But like,
yeah, I did wonder with people if they were
the main
unlikable.
chick, I was hoping she'd get whacked, but like she didn't.
Oh, what in Hellraiser?
In Hellraiser, yeah.
That's mean.
I was like, take this woman, please, please.
Yeah.
Like shockingly, usually you get the reverse, right? Like everybody's unlikable, but in this film, it was like the main chick is unlikable, and then like her boyfriend, and that's about it. But they're so unlikable, and everybody else Like all the nice people are getting murdered. And
I
it's like, oh, I kind of feel like a little bad, but like they're not getting this chick. I don't know.
maybe it was intentional. Don't know. I mean, the boyfriend that didn't really pay much attention because it's clear that that dude's getting whacked. You know.
Yeah.
I thought the gore, some of the effects, some of the
splitting
mutilations
arms,
were fantastic
the splitting
stuff.
arms was a cool concept.
Yeah.
Because they, for the most part, had like fully new Cenobites, like aside from Pinhead, for the most part.
Pinhead and I've forgotten the guy's name with the teeth.
Oh yeah, that guy. Yeah.
Yeah, Chatterer or whatever. Chompy Bitey Man. Chompy Bitey Man. Yeah, him. But yeah, some of the stuff was, I mean, you look at it, it looks like an elaborate costume, and then you look closer of what's actually going on, and you're like, oh.
Now, what was sick, dude, is the millionaire guy. His option that was in his chest, dude. That was so.
At first, I was like, what's that? What's
I
going on?
haven't seen anything like that, dude. That was so sick. Like, the only other thing that's kind of similar is, like, in Hannibal, that violin episode when he shoves the violin down that guy's throat and he's, like, playing the guy's body.
Yeah.
That's kind of similar, but this was totally crazy. Like, there was chords moving. There was, like, cogs. That was nasty.
They spent some money on this movie.
Like, that was cool, for sure. Yeah.
I mean, I've seen a few people online saying, oh, it's gone straight to streaming. It's like, well, give it a watch. You know, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's weird that they didn't do like a theatre for cinematic release. Maybe they're going to. Or...
I think they did one at like Fantastic Fest or someplace in Texas. They did like a surprise screening of the film. And it's weird. They do like 2 surprise screenings and people just buy tickets for it. But that was one of them. So that's really the only place that they showed it on screen, you know.
They definitely, one thing that I liked is they really went heavily into the lore of the Cenobites and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
A lot more than you got in, not knocking the originals, because I love them.
Yeah.
But they got into it a lot more.
Now, the way they tricked out that guy's mansion, that was crazy, dude.
Yeah.
That was something new and like definitely like in the right direction.
I think the only thing that was even vaguely similar was maybe the remake of House on Haunted Hill, maybe? Or I don't know, 13 Ghosts or something. I'm getting more confused now.
13 Ghosts, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, but that
house talking was tricked out too.
Talking about the rich guy with the machine attached. Mm-hmm. I was trying to figure out now is this spoilers? Are we going to wreck this for people?
I don't think so.
No.
If anything, they might go watch it. I don't know.
Yeah. So it's got like a machine like stuck through the middle of him, and there's like these strands coming out of him, and they're going through all these little cogs and pulleys, and then going back into him. And I'm like, what is that?
It's like constant pain.
Are they like veins or something? Like, no, they're not. It's just fucking nerves. Oh, yeah. So you can see why he's got a pained fucking expression all the time. It's just, so the machine runs, and then so he doesn't get desensitized to it, it stops, lets him recover a bit, and then just as he's, getting over it, starts over again. Yeah. So it's, I mean, even, I'm not going to spoil the ending, but I will say that final scene was pretty grim too. Not grim, but because I like stuff like that. It was it was interesting to watch what happened to him later.
I thought it was okay. I guess I noticed like a lot of effect stuff. So since they were doing like extreme close-ups,
Yeah,
I was noticing some wonky effects. But I definitely like the idea of where they were going.
yeah. It's I overall I really kind of enjoyed it. I mean, I was a bit like you. The main character, bit hit or miss. The chick, it was, you know.
Dude, I was hoping she'd take those pills and just like deuce out of the movie, dude. Like this was horrific.
Well, that's kind of near the start as
Be
well. That's not a
gone.
massive spoiler. It's like, yeah,
Be
she's like a
gone, please. Dude.
she's like a recovering junkie kind of, 12
But like,
step.
see, some people that are having those issues, like they're troubled, but like they're still
Jail.
like likable, if that makes any sense. Like, but she's unlikable with that, so I don't know. It's strange.
Yeah, it's kind of. I mean, I know there was like character building and stuff going on at the start. I was.
Like I know she has like she lost her brother and other stuff like that, but it's like, come on now, like.
Yeah. It's yeah. I was kind of every time a Cenobite turns up, basically they steal the fucking show completely.
Oh yeah,
I thought, like even like early on, you just get glimpses and stuff of things happening, and you're like, oh, shit's gonna go down. I would probably say, what would you say, about halfway through the movie, it goes, then the shit hits the fan, and it just goes full on.
Yeah, for sure.
That's yeah, around about halfway through. I mean, the first half's good, but from halfway point onwards, it's just a roller coaster of holy shit. And I didn't think they'd go as far as they did with some of the Cenobites. Tortures or what they did to some of the people. Yeah, it's hard to talk about without spoiling it, and I really don't want to spoil it for anyone. Maybe
the kills are some of the best parts of this film for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a lot of times like now the kills are so soft, and to see like some nasty kills is like rare now.
Yeah. I wonder if it's because Clive Barker was like really involved with it, wasn't he? From what I remember reading.
Well, they listed him as a producer, so I don't know outside of that though.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, it was said that he's really involved with it, but you never know, do you? They're going to say that anyway.
They're paid to say that, dude.
Yeah, but it's whoever was like in charge, or I don't know. The studio didn't turn around and say that's a bit much. I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
If there is a harsher cut or stuff they were going to do, then God knows what it was.
I mean, it's already rated hard. So.
Yeah, pretty hardcore. How do you think it compares to the older ones, or was that an unfair thing to do?
I don't think so. That's hard to compare. I don't know, man. Because see, the thing here is that, like the first Hellraiser, it's just the actors, the caliber of actors.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Was totally different. The setup that they had, like the characters, you're actually rooting for them.
Yeah.
To get out of trouble. It's just not the same. So it's hard to compare for me.
It is completely different. Yeah. It's what did you think of Pinhead in the new one? I think I noticed, I don't know if this is true or I imagined it, but between that trailer, because the trailer just got there's that masculine voice overlay sort of thing going on.
Yeah.
It wasn't as strong in the actual movie, I don't think. she sounded more feminine.
Oh, they could have still been, editing it. A lot of times they're still tweaking stuff up
Yeah.
until they push it out. So,
Mm.
I mean, as far as the book, they kind of make it pretty ambiguous
Yeah, yeah.
and very androgynous. So I'm fine with that as
Yeah.
far as
Oh,
the
yeah,
source
yeah.
material goes.
Didn't have a problem with it. So certainly the pin's got a lot more use.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure.
Everyone had got pins, pretty much.
I mean, I think the chick did a decent job. I mean, just like the original Hellraiser, you don't see a lot of Pinhead as far
No,
as
true.
the whole runtime goes, so they kept that pretty, in
Yeah,
tune
yeah.
with the original, which I'm
It,
fine with. It's like a Godzilla movie, you're not going to see Godzilla till like the last 14 minutes or whatever. So.
yeah, they definitely had more money than the original. Well, the original movie got completely wrecked, didn't it?
That was a nightmare, I heard. Yeah.
The
All the behind the scenes, yeah. That's
Wall
all
Street crash.
about.
The big Wall Street crash ruined them. Yeah, yeah. That is the most. Anyone who doesn't know, it was like because it was shot over here in the UK, but the money was coming from the States.
Yeah.
So right in the middle of transferring the money by wiring the money over to the UK,
it went down.
The crash happened, the big Wall Street crash, and when it got to the UK, matter of minutes, I think, it just lost so much value, and that's why
like a nightmare, dude. I can't even imagine that.
That's why the Leviathan stuff at the end, like the original,
kind of
is
wonky.
Yeah, they just couldn't afford to do what they wanted to do. It's pretty cool in the new one, they had the money, did it well.
Exactly.
Yeah, just like you say, the house. I can't get into it because it's going to spoil it for people. But I recommend people see it. I definitely recommend if you love horror and you dig the Hellraiser franchise. Yeah, I think you'll like it. I think. Unless you just
bored,
completely
for sure, give it a look. No, if you're bored and looking for something new to watch,
I'd say it's better than I'm bored. What should I watch? It's see, I'd give it. Let me think. I would give it maybe. I don't know. I might go a 9, 8 or a 9, 8, 9 out of 10. Go on. I know yours won't be as high because you despise that horrible girl, that vile girl.
I'd say like it's a solid 6.
Oh!
Just because the kills and like they have the right direction, but a lot of times it's predictable. And I know horror films can be predictable, but there's a twist and a betrayal that if you're paying attention, you'll see it coming. And that might be frustrating for some people. But there's just something missing as far as, because there was a lot of cool kills and they had a lot of good ideas. And the whole like tricked out mansion and the nasty device that dude had was pretty solid. But I felt as far as if you just took the name off of this, you removed Hellraiser, I mean, it'd be okay. I don't know.
Yeah.
The writing was
I just love the fucking Cenobites and the kills and stuff. So
Another issue with this is when you remake stuff like that or reboot it, what have you, like you're always going to compare it to the original. A lot of the time. And if you like the original, you're just going to kind of gravitate towards that more.
I can see that. Yeah. It's been a while since, I'll say a while. I think it was maybe earlier this year, start of the year, when I rewatched like Hellraiser 1 and 2. There's still a bunch of the Hellraiser movies that I've not even seen. So
Oh no. Because, I mean, see, here's the thing. Like, with the Evil Dead, basically, like, reboot they did in, like, 2014 or whatnot, like, that just had a different vibe to where that was so solid and it just did all of the elements right. And they had some really nasty kills in there, but they also
yeah,
had some unlikable characters too. But everything they did, they were hitting those beats. And just here, it felt like they were hitting some notes, but then they're just missing. Like,
yeah,
something felt like
the
it was.
scene, that scene in the Evil Dead remake in the bathroom with the sink and
Mhm.
stuff, that was fantastic.
I think part of it is the performances. Like, I feel like in the Evil Dead, they were like really selling that.
Yeah, maybe I'm
Like
letting my
the terror side of it. Like, you felt like this was like life or death.
yeah, maybe I don't know, maybe my love of all things Cenobite was swaying me too much on this one, but
Like,
you
the
know,
Cenobites were like on top of it, man. That was cool.
yeah, some of them were really
The
freaky.
kills were nice. I just feel like the story could have been just.
Do you think it was too long? Do you think they could have cut it down?
I mean, when I was watching it, it didn't feel like it was too long. I don't think
No.
it's a runtime issue. I just think it's a story like issue. Because like it's so weird. I think like just mostly for me, it's that chick. And I feel like they're just not, I don't know. I think it's also part of just that the original film as well as the book focused a lot on family
Yeah, oh yeah.
and like the dysfunction in that.
This is
And I
true.
felt like
That
this
that's
they
not
could
there
have
in this one, really.
no, like they kind of played part of it, like with the sister losing the brother and she went downhill, but I feel like with how far off she was, that would have had to have been like multiple things, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like you would have had to have had like a tough childhood and then like your brother was the only person like that you could really connect with and then you
Yeah.
lost him. Like it just felt like that was already stuff she's going through was already an issue and this just worsened it. I don't know. And then just like I didn't feel they didn't really go into like the brother at all outside of like
No,
the opening.
not
They
really.
and even like in the first Hellraiser, they kind of flash back a little bit. I feel like they could have shown more with the brother and why he was so important enough to risk your life to go to like a creepy mansion and like go through some Cenobites.
Yeah.
That was super weird, dude.
There was definitely some weird shit going on. Like, I won't spoil it, but I'll just say the scene in the van.
Mm-hmm.
Just yeah, that was kind of. I don't think I've seen something like that before. I don't know. But yeah, so I'm kind of eight or nine, and you're like a 6. This happened. I just want to point out as well, American Werewolf in Paris. It's actually the anniversary of that movie. That movie was released.
No.
Yeah. I mean, you know, there's a talk about doing a reboot, like a remake of American Werewolf.
Oh no, dude, I'm scared. Don't.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Max Landis is involved with it, but that doesn't mean anything. I'd still much rather see the original. See them make the original American Werewolf in Paris, the one that was, you know, it was supposed to be before they just changed it all completely.
Yeah.
That sounds so much better. But yeah. So I don't know whatever year it was, but it's the anniversary of that movie this week. Eesh, eesh. What we got there? Jason Goes Hell, my first horror movie. We need more Friday the 13th movies.
No, don't say that, Peter.
We do, and
But
it's
they're gonna give us bad ones. You know this, dude. Like
yeah, it was okay.
when recently have we gotten like a good reboot anything?
Recently,
Yeah.
the Hellraiser today. No, all right, we'll leave that one. Besides that, I don't know. See, all the ones I kind of remember as being good kind of remakes are probably from ages ago. When was Evil Dead?
That's like 2014, I think. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, when you get to my age, that's recent.
Yeah, I'd have to check.
Yeah, that and the Texas Chainsaw one was okay, and
oh no, not the new one, dude.
Oh no, the one with
That
Jessica
scared
Biel.
me, man. Okay, that scared me.
Yeah. Oh no, nothing since then. No.
Okay.
And I can't think.
Right.
I mean, we don't talk about the Elm Street one because that was just vile.
Oh, see, the thing is that felt like a CW episode. Okay.
Yes, it did. It did.
And it literally had CW actors. All right. It had
yeah, it had that
one
girl
chick
from
from
Arrow. Yeah. That. Katie Cassidy. Yeah.
Okay, so the Evil Dead reboot was like in 2013.
So yeah, it's been a while. I mean,
they're finally gonna put a sequel out to that pretty soon.
Yeah, well, what Evil Dead Rise is out?
Yeah,
next year.
Yeah,
that's the one that it's set in a city in a building. We'll see about that.
The guy that did that did the horrible Texas Chainsaw one that came out recently. So that's
and again, Bruce Campbell and Sam Raimi are attached as producers, but I think they're executive producers, so not sure how much they're going to have to do with it.
Yeah. Because sometimes these things are just a title, and people that aren't familiar with the film industry are just like, oh, executive producer, he must do a lot. But a lot of times in the contract, especially with like people from prior stuff, sometimes that can just be a title that was just discussed
in the contract. Absolutely.
So you're never sure what somebody is fully doing.
Is it like a case of let's pay this person some money so that we can put their name on it and pretend it's all official and shit? Yeah. That seems to happen quite a lot.
Because I mean, you can slap George Lucas's name as like executive producer or something, but he's not like coming into work and like working on it, you know.
He'll turn up one day on set just for the photo op and to pretend.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think you're absolutely right. There's not been anything good then for what, over 10 years? It's which, considering how many reboots and remakes are going on.
I mean, there's good like newer horror stuff like X and Pearl and stuff like that.
By the way, people, if you haven't seen X, it got added to Amazon Prime this week.
I always appreciate like new content. New horror content is always solid, even if it doesn't hit right away. And sometimes this is people's like first film. And people will be like, oh, that's, that was kind of shabby. Dude, if you want new horror content, you have to actually go out and support it.
Let's speaking of, yeah, hang on. Let me get this up. Don't share audio. Just share this. There we go. Check that dude out. NECA are making 7-inch these 7-inch action figures.
Oh, what is it of?
It's supposedly Bela Lugosi.
Oh, okay. I can't see without my glasses, so.
Ah, right, yeah. It's. I mean.
I can see a cape, but it's pretty fuzzy, man.
Yeah, the costume's right. Let's say that. So yeah, we've got Dracula, and they're done an Invisible Man. That's okay. And then the Count from Rob Zombie's Monsters. Okay. Why is he called the Count? Why is he not called Grandpa? Oh look, there's
probably a licensing or legal issues.
Sherry Moon Zombie in the background there, and yeah, Ultimate Hermit. Yeah. I mean, you know what I think of that, though, don't you?
Dude, I can't. The nerve. Like, he's still on Instagram and, like, Facebook, like, pimping out the film and, like, oh, this is so amazing. Like,
there's a lot of people on Twitter and whatever, like, still shilling for it. And
I don't get it, dude. I had to turn that off.
You know, well, I mean, I'm going to have to play this.
This is going to shock you. This is going to shock you. This is going to shock you.
And who should I say is Colin?
Lily.
Is that what I think it is?
Yeah, screw Rob Zombie.
I am the what? Shut up or piss off!
Right, got it out of my system again. But I will never stop hating that movie.
Like, I just want to talk with these people to see how they come to, like, finding this film amusing.
Yeah, I mean,
especially
I don't know.
Now, if you haven't seen the original Monsters, like any of the previous content, I guess I can see looking at this and finding it amusing. But if you actually know the content,
yeah,
I just don't get it.
I mean, a lot of people singing its praises and they're saying, "Oh, you know, it's just like the original. It's so camp and whatever." It's like, no, the Monsters wasn't camp.
See, that's the problem. I look in the chat and people are like, "Oh, this is so like just like the original. It's in the spirit of the original." Dude, how?
It's not.
Are we watching the same thing?
They clearly have no clue. I'm listening to some guy talking about how see, we're bitching about the Monsters again. Sorry, everyone.
Like the first couple of seconds of that film, I thought it was a joke. Like it was so bizarre.
Just people saying that, you know, Sherry Moon Zombie it's a perfect portrayal of Yvonne De Carlo in the Monsters, and it's like, no, it's not. It's awful. It's like someone ordered, you know, Lily Munster from Wish.
Dude, no, more like Alibaba, dude.
Yeah.
That China.
So, have you seen? You know, that this kind of genre of horror where it's like, so they did a Banana Splits movie and it was a horror movie. Yeah.
What?
You've not seen that?
Split. What?
Yeah, the Banana Splits. Remember that? Remember that show? Well, yeah, there's a horror movie version where it's just blood and guts and death. And they've just done.
Totally lost, dude. What?
They've just done Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. That's another one.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, so there's this weird thing of taking childhood, treasures, shall we say. There's another one
Because
coming.
Winnie the Pooh is public domain now.
Yeah. The second it became public domain, I guarantee there's a million
They're hot on it. Dude, because they put out Broadway, like off-Broadway stuff already. These people were like planning and plotting.
Well, you know what else is public domain now?
What?
I'm just going to share this. Hang on.
Oh no, I'm scared.
Yeah. So this Christmas, The Grinch, the slasher movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, weirdly, this one is going to be free.
Wait, what?
Free everywhere from December the 15th. They're gifting the movie to horror fans.
Is this like an ad campaign?
It's called The Mean One. Yeah, it's I didn't even read the article because no. I mean, no. That's clearly a Jim Carrey Grinch mask.
That looks so creepy, dude.
Well, it's a Grinch. It's creepy anyway, isn't it? But yeah.
Dude, that Jim Carrey one was like funny, but like also disturbing.
Yeah. When he was being evil, he was creepy.
Yeah.
Creepy as hell. And
I love it. It's so gross.
Oh yeah, I love it. It's great. It's the creepiest bit is when, like, during the song, you're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. It's like termites in your teeth, and there's a close up, and the termite crawling over his teeth.
Like in that case, it's true.
But it's So there you go. That one that's coming on December the 15th. I thought maybe it was the same people who did Winnie the Pooh, but it's not. And I've not seen that. I don't know if that's out yet or not. That Winnie the Pooh movie just kind of looks like a bunch of people in Winnie the Pooh masks killing people.
Yeah.
It's bizarre. The Pooh Killer. Yeah. So, I mean, there is other bits and pieces out in the news at the moment, in the horror news, but it's all much of a much.
I do have some horror news.
Uh-oh.
So there's a show called The Midnight Club on Netflix.
Right.
It got a Guinness Book of World Record for the most jump scares in one episode. And
really?
I believe it was 21. And I was actually, and I was actually about to watch it, but I ran out of time before coming on the show. So
right.
I can't confirm whether or not it's probably trash jump scares, guys. But you can't all be like Insidious, because Insidious had like nasty jump scares, but they were like legit. I don't know.
Is it going to be just like sudden loud noises?
That's what I'm guessing, like a crow, probably.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to watch it now and count the number of times I jump. I guarantee it won't be 21.
Dude.
Very much guaranteed it won't be that.
Twice, if anything, but I don't know. Jump scares never really get anybody that's actually watching horror, I feel. I feel like the jump scares only get my mom when she's coming in the background and she sees like whatever.
Yeah.
So, other than that, it's not getting anybody else.
Yeah, I think the jump scares aren't there for the horror people.
But they keep putting them in there though, like we're falling for it, dude.
Yeah, you can spot when they're going to come a mile off. The
only time a jump scare has like really gotten me, there's like some Asian film. And like it was a jump scare, but it was also like they were building it up. And
Yeah.
it was like the longest drawn out thing. But then they jump, but then they cut to another scene that's another angle of the jump scare. And it was like some really nasty stuff going on. But other than that, nothing really gets me like that, dude.
No, I think the last time a jump scare actually got me was the head in the boat in Jaws. Like when I was way too young to be watching Jaws. Yeah,
I feel
that was and I see even now I see that and it doesn't. It's like now that it just looks like a really.
After the first viewing, it's not going to get you again.
No, but I mean, looking at back then, it terrified the hell out of me because I don't know, I would have been maybe 9 or 10 or something like that. If that, maybe not even that. But now I look at it and it's like that, the fakest head in the world. But it is what it
makes it funny though.
Yeah, it is what it is. Right, well, we've been going for an hour, just over an hour. I hope Wyatt gets his stuff sorted out with work. Next week, I don't know if we're going to drop back to Wyatt's channel or we'll be over on Crystal's, but follow me on the Twitter at Peter Gilmore, and you can follow Crystal at tell them where to find you.
Okay, well, you can find me on Twitter at Crystal McGee, just like you see it on the screen. You can also find me other places through other things that I'm doing, kind of like on mysticalcomics.com. You can, look over there, add it to your favorites and bookmark it, whatever people do with that,
Yeah.
And you could look for updates there. I'm most active on Twitter, and I've got some announcements there. There's also a Mystical Comics Patreon you guys can check out with new updates.
I shall put that in the description. I think I've got everything else in there, but not that. I'll have to put your Patreon in there. What have I got going on? So Mandy finally finished fulfilling Jack the Ripper Vampire Hunter. If you go to stuntmancomics.com or comicsavalon.com, we have put like the overprint, so there's a few copies left. A few copies of the first printing available there now. And I do believe there's some slightly damaged copies, that are a little bit cheaper. So if you want one just to read or, swap flies with, or I don't know, roll up and pick your teeth, whatever. There's some slightly damaged ones there. We are launching Jack the Ripper Vampire Hunter 2 very soon, which is going to be crowdfunded on the Stuntman Comics website. So we is bypassing Indiegogo. Might go on there eventually, and we might drop it on Kickstarter or wherever as well, because some people might just want to go there. But so head over to stuntmancomics.com. There's a newsletter there. You can also sign up. It's in the description. You can still sign up for the mailing list on Indiegogo, and you'll still get all the extra stuff and the cheaper tiers and stuff if you sign up there when we do launch on Stuntman Comics. Confusing? No, just pay attention. Cool. Right. So we'll say goodbye and go check out Werewolf by Night and Hellraiser. See what you think. Let me know what score you give Hellraiser, whether it's an 8 or 9 or 6, and whether that chick is really irritating. She is.
She truly is, dude.
She is. Right. Cool. Catch you later. Oh God, I've got to